Hey everyone, look at what I just walked in on. An Argon military convoy heading straight for Xenon Sector 101.
No aim.
Let's tag along, shall we?
Jump device charging at 10%. 20. Entering system. Xenon Sector 101.
And of course, right off the bat, there is a Xenon Q fighting the Titan. I bet if we took a few seconds longer, that Q would have killed the Titan if we didn't jump into the sector, because Titans are rather... not Titans. Qs are overpowered in out-of-sector combat. At least in Terran conflict. Supposedly they were toned down in Albion Prelude. But in Terran conflict, they were able to kill almost any ship in the game off of the first round of out-of-sector combat. So we're going to be seeing quite a few Xenon ships, and I'm going to explain them. In fact, we will be fighting almost every single kind of Xenon ship except for the Xenon Heavy Destroyer. So the first ship we saw, the Q, as I said, was crazy in out-of-sector combat. But in sector, it's not too bad. It's honestly kind of disappointing when you consider that out of combat it could destroy entire destroyers by itself. It is the Xenon frigate. It can mount about 8 forward guns, 2 rear guns, 2 guns on the right, and 2 guns on the left. It has 4 gigajoules of shielding, which is 4,000 megajoules. And it can mount an impressive array of weaponry. The second ship we saw when we came in was the Xenon PX. The PX is a Xenon heavy frigate, I believe. And it can mount the pulse beam emitter. You will notice sometimes we get shot and almost instantly lose our shields, like right now. That is the pulse beam emitter. It is the most favorite weapon of all these Xenon, and it is very annoying to contend with because you'll instantly lose your shields. Anyways, back to the PX Heavy Corvette. It can mount 400 megajoules of shielding. I'm sorry, 800 megajoules of shielding. 7 front guns, a turret in the back, 2 turrets on the left, and 2 turrets on the right. Because of the turret on the back, it has all of its blind spots covered by pulse beam emitters. Funnily enough, the best part to try and be at is directly in front of it, where it doesn't have the PBEs.
Xenon N.
Let's talk about the regular Xenon P, which is just a normal Corvette, not a heavy Corvette. It only mounts 400 megajoules of shielding, has 8 front guns, and only a single rear gun, but the rear gun can also mount the PBE. The Xenon N are the Xenon scout ships. They go 360 meters a second, they have 2 megajoules of shielding, and they can use the pulse accelerator cannons. I mean, they can do a bit damage, but then again, they don't have much shielding. Their main defense is just being quick little fuckers. The M is the M4 Interceptor for the Xenon. It has 20 megajoules of shielding, and it can mount the pulse beam emitter. It goes 180 meters a second. The L is the main Xenon fighter. It is the M3. It goes 165 meters a second, can have 75 megajoules of shielding, has 8 main guns, and that is, of course, including the pulse beam emitter that it can have. And I'll say the last 2 when we get closer to them. But basically, the Xenon love having weapons that strip your shields almost immediately. Now, here, for whatever reason, our Solano, Lucky, thinks he could take on a Xenon ship, and that is a big downside when it comes to this game, is that the AI has no real threat assessment. if it's hostile, the AI will attack it. They will not go, oh, maybe I shouldn't be attacking this bigger ship and run off. The only quote-unquote, you know, self-preservation is when the AI bails out of a ship, and your ships don't bail. So, we'll see here in a minute, but Spaceball 1 actually tries to take on a Xenon Q by himself and almost gets killed. Look at that.
Xenon Sector 101.
I have to manually tell him to jump out of the sector, or else he will just sit there constantly getting shot. He won't even try to move out of the way. He won't try and retreat, though that may be because we don't have the auto jump function on when it comes to your shielding being low. But still, we could be in one of our own Titans, and a pirate scout will come up and go, you know what? I bet I can kill that guy, and will ram himself into us trying to kill us. It is very annoying.
Xenon Sector 101.
So with us in this fight though was Spaceball 1 providing covering fire. We've got Goldwing with us as well. We had Goldwing with us. I am now making them retreat because one of them got blown up by the Q. And funnily enough there, generally the first docking command is return to or dock at your home station. But this time it only had the option to dock at target, which was the Xenon Q. And for whatever reason, Gold Command accepted it, even though they can't. And as we saw there, the main reason why I will never equip the PBG on any of our ships, AI controlled ships, is because of all the friendly fire that will happen. The PBG is rather great in all the accidental friendly fire you'll get a hold of, because sometimes a ship will just not show up on your radar. So you'll blow, you know, you'll fire a flamethrower shot into a bunch of enemies just to have a friendly yelling at you for shooting them. You'll notice in this fight I will be checking my mail as well as the property menu several times. And this is just so I can see what's going on with my ships. Just make sure they didn't get destroyed or if they are heavily damaged, because once again I will have to tell them to leave. They will not try to disengage if they are damaged so much. And likewise, if you see if you see a command accepted being spammed, that is me spamming the protect me key to try and get Foghorn back to us instead of trying to run out like a retard. And he once again shows how bad he is at shooting. I don't believe I have mentioned the high energy plasma thrower yet. It is the green shots you'll see being fired every now and then. It is one of the most damaging weapons that you can mount on a M3 fighter before you start going into weaponry that you can only mount on Corvettes and the like. Its only real downside is that it's kind of a energy hog. And as we see once again, Foghorn is not good at shooting. I really don't understand it. And then yeah, there'll also be several cuts as I cut out any like boring engagements where I attack a single ship or waiting for the fleets to get reorganized and, you know, up to one another.
Xenon K. This destroyer was one of the most powerful ships the Argon faced in the Xenon conflict, and its memory still deserves the greatest of respect.
So yeah, this is the Xenon K. It is the destroyer for the Xenon. It can mount 8 gigajoules of shielding, which is 8,000 megajoules. It can mount an impressive 8 guns on the front, 8 guns on the side turrets, the right turrets I mean, 8 guns on the rear turrets, 8 guns on the left turrets, 4 guns on the top turrets, and 4 guns on the bottom turrets. Yeah. Its main job is to blow shit up, and it is damn well equipped to do so. Its only downside is that it has a small cargo space, so once you equipped all of its guns, it won't have much space left over for like jump cells and the like. And we'll see here the Titan and the K having a knife fight. Now, in these kind of situations where there is a bigger ship around, I try not to engage its wings. As we see here, the Xenon fighters are just kind of hanging around and not doing anything. I honestly don't know why the wings are not engaging each other. We see here the Argon ships aren't doing anything either. And I don't know if the K was actually trying to shoot those Argon ships or if it was trying to shoot us. I have this feeling, which is why I stay away from big ships, is because I really feel like the game, the AI, has a kill the player mentality, where if it sees the player, it's only going to go for the player. Like, at some point, this K will just go, okay, stop attacking the destroyer that's destroying me, and instead go for the player. And this is the perfect example of the AI having absolutely zero self-preservation, because they will just charge right at us, at anything I should say, and slam into it. Actually, we'll see quite a few times the AI slamming into one another, even though I have bounce on. Kind of weird. And just to note, the debris, while pretty, I believe is a static. Image. It won't hurt us if we run into it. So it's kind of nice. I don't know, maybe it's from playing PlanetSide 2 where I destroy an enemy tank or enemy fighter and then die because debris hit me, and I get very sour about it. Now, this is why I enjoy the being in a smaller ship compared to being in the bigger ships, is because you don't get this close into all the lasers flying about and, you know, witnessing all this shit going on. If you're in a big ship, the laser's only going after you. And when you're in a small ship and, you know, they're kind of, and the AI's not paying any attention to you, their laser's just flying all over the place, and it's great. Also, another thing, you'll notice, like, I'll target a ship and it says command accepted. Obviously that's me commanding Foghorn to attack it. But then after it dies, you'll see command accepted again. That is me setting Foghorn to protect me, because the command I use to make him attack an enemy is the attack my target. Unfortunately, it doesn't mean just attack this ship. It means attack whatever I'm currently aiming at. So I think the AI will at least attack your current target, but then when it dies, he will start going after wherever you're aiming at next. And hey, look, the L actually bailed. That is amazing. AI ships, as in computer controlled, you know, not flown by an actual pilot, they go brain dead, which allows you to claim them. This is me going to an Argon ship that I thought was the L, and I didn't quite realize it until he started flying away from me, and I was like, oh shit, you know, they don't fly. Oh, that's why he's flying, because he's not an abandoned ship, and I gotta look for him.
L.
Now, normally we have to get out of our ship into our spacesuit and then fly up to claim it, but I bought the System Override software upgrade, which allows me to claim ships from within a ship, but you still need to get about 50 meters in to claim the ship. So first things first, of course, the L, it has no shielding, has no weapons. It's kind of a downside is if you make a pilot bail, generally all their shit's gone. They have, you know, all their weapons are blown up, all their shielding is gone, and they're also damaged, of course. So hopefully between here and back to Spaceball 1, he doesn't get jumped. Because you may notice occasionally like a red flash will go in a distance and a ship will appear. It's because the Xenon just magically appear. Well, they jump in, but it's kind of a lampshade in having infinite respawning enemies. And the cut that happened there was me fixing up Foghorn. Every now and then I just jump out and try to fix up our hole, just so we're always keeping up at maximum speed. And who knows, we might just, you know, barely survive on the skin of our teeth, and it was that extra 2% hole that protected us. Now, just to explain a bit of combat, I should probably do that at some point. Whenever you target an enemy, you'll see this little red circle flying around near the enemy. That is whereabouts the shot will land if your target keeps moving. So, you know, it's kind of predicting where the shot will hit your target if they keep moving where they're currently moving to. As an aside, this Q picked a very bad spot to jump in at, in between a Cerberus and a Titan. And in moments like these, it's great to have the flamethrower because he's standing stock still, not moving out of the flamethrower's clouds. In fact, the best defense to the flamethrower is going straight into it, so then you get out of it. The worst thing you could do is try to run from it, because then you are, you know, the shot will go past you, and then you run into the cloud as it forms, and then you're in the cloud the entire time as you're getting back out of it. And as you just see right there, that Q just jumped in. It's what I mean by we can't permanently get rid of any of the enemy forces here because they just respawn like that.
Argon, military Titan.
So here we see the Xenon J. It is the Xenon carrier. It mounts 6 gigajoules of shielding, which is 6,000 megajoules. It has 8 guns on the front, 8 guns on the right, 8 guns on the left, 8 guns on top, 8 guns on the bottom, and 8 guns on the back. You would think, wow, this ship has more guns than the carrier. Well, its laser capacity is not that great, so it doesn't replace a carrier. That is the that's kind of like how it works in this game, is where, you know, a ship can have good weapons, but its laser like capacity sucks so much that it won't really be able to use them, and its laser recharge rate is also bad, so it will take a while before it can actually use them again. However, as a carrier, it can dock 50 ships. And that is the thing with carriers. They are just like Spaceball 1 and the like, military transports. But military transports can only carry 4 ships, and carriers can carry 50. I believe there's even some that can carry 100 ships in them. It'll be quite great having one of our own and then watching as 50 of our ships slam into an asteroid. That was me and Foghorn taking on AP. I just mainly wanted to show off its crazy pulse beam emitter, just because it really fucks with your shielding. It's kind of insane. But the pulse beam emitter, while it does rip off shields fast, it doesn't do much hull damage. Though it does fire quick enough that once your target loses its shield, you'll probably kill it as well. And now the J gets blown up. Honestly, I think the Titan may ram the J. There's quite a lot of things where you'll see like the Titan or a Cerberus ram another ship. And I'd almost think it's intentional at this point, because I don't see no reason why it would happen accidentally. Like, look right here, the Cerberus is gonna ram the Q. And I don't know, maybe the AI is that smart to intentionally ram stuff. I don't know. I mean, we will certainly start ramming ships ourselves once we get bigger ships. Hell, sometimes you may notice I do try to ram enemy ships if they're almost dead, just to be a dick. Anyways, sorry about that, guys. Combat. As I said, that red circle is whereabouts you need to aim. If you look on the bottom left, you'll see auto aim on. If you have, I believe it is the Mark 1 fighter upgrade, you can auto aim, which just means that as long as your center crosshair is near the circle, the ship will automatically fire in the correct position instead of you having to drag that blue circle into the red circle to shoot them. The red number on the left is how fast our target is going. The blue number on the right is how fast we are going. And hey, look, a second Xenon L failed. Amazing, isn't it? Generally, the Xenon ships don't bail as much. Each race has like a morale amount, so Xenon and like Split are less likely to bail, while I believe like Boron are more likely to bail because they're pansies.
Ship computer control.
So yeah, it's quite nice actually getting two of these babies. Gonna send them to dock back. We will be selling one, but keeping the other one, to be our wingman, and throwing our own pulse beam emitters on them so they can like tear off the shields of our enemies, and then we just smack them with heps and just blow them up. Crap, I'm sorry, I was gonna say unfortunately, but I don't think there really is much of an unfortunate side to the Xenon Ls, except that it's not an LX, which I believe gets a turret mounted and allows it to, it has a better laser generator. So we are actually winding down here, as we see we killed most of the Xenon fleet. However, the Titan is badly mangled and bruised. Funnily enough, at this point, the Talati brought in a bunch of bombers. And at first I thought, wow, the game's AI is more sophisticated than I thought. The Argon first came in and blew up all these Xenon ships, so then the Talati will bring their bombers in to blow up the station.
Xenon Sector 101.
Unfortunately, that's not the case. They don't even try. I don't know why none of these ships even attempted to blow up the Xenon ship, but they didn't. As we see here, the Titan is very badly damaged. I'm kind of worried that Q is going to do it, and I'm kind of debating, should I try to do something about the Q, or should I try to help the Talati in the hopes that they will try bombing the ship? Because, you know, it doesn't matter if the Titan dies, I just want that station blown up. Unfortunately, the bombers don't even attempt. They don't try bombing the station. I don't know why.
Xenon N.
The Talati may as well have not even showed up, because as I said, they're mostly bombers, so they weren't even doing that good of a job trying to fight the Xenon ships. They also have those fragmentation bomb launchers, which are loud as hell and are utterly worthless. If we ever have a ship with the fragmentation bomb launcher on them, we're immediately getting rid of it. It is a terrible weapon. It fires slow, and it doesn't even do any area of effect damage. And as we see here, their destination is not here. They are leaving because the Titan was blown up. The Talati didn't do a damn thing. That space station took absolutely no damage, and I'm kind of disappointed. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be seeing you all next time.